Well, here we are once again, Life in the Marsh. I said I was going to get rid of it, but no, I brought it back in. Brought it back in for volume 15 because it was Life in the Marsh this weekend again. Certainly had another great egret action from a different location, a different view. I did capture what I was trying to show you, the threatened position of the egrets rising up, as we did in volume 14. I was explaining a little bit about that. Certainly there was more showing of the threat. I got some really nice video. The egrets were not hitting in the grass because I was in an elevated location. So that was a very different location for me. Then Sunday I went out in a canoe with my brother. We did not run into that striped bass, bait fish action that I would have liked to see. We actually with severe fog. We went out to the front of the, out of the river into the front of the ocean, and I did get on a sandbar, and whew, I gotta say, is I love the photos I took on the sandbar. They're some of my favorite photos I ever took in my life. So that's saying something for me. I mean, when you can make yourself happy, what right there, you know, when unfolds inside the camera. So great audience for volume 14. I want to thank everybody that watched this, anybody that shared this. Really appreciate it. I really glad we're getting it life into people's homes, and maybe I can teach what I can as a naturalist, and you know, tip you into ways, photography, that better photographers that are more capable than me certainly can teach you. Like, I don't know if I mentioned him. I think I did it in a little bug one, but Steve Perry. If you're a Nikon user, Steve Perry from Backcountry Galleries. Watch his videos. Watch his videos. The man is a great teacher of how things should be. And actually, I use, because I'm not great at composition, like, you know, I get so excited. I'm like, I got so much passion, and I don't think sometimes to setting up the animal with the background and with the thing. I'm just want to capture it like that, just the animal itself sometimes, and sometimes I gotta really remind myself where to go with the photo, like thinking more that brings it more to life. But that's still a learning game for me, and it's a learning game for, I think, most of us that are out there. Every time we learn something. So I learned something in my thing, you know, all the time. The opening photos of Diamondback terrapins, and I only took them because I was really struggling with seeing my Diamondback terrapins this year. Haven't seen many at all, and I did see a couple in there. And the thing I posted that photo because it's a group of them that have a bunch of different heads, you know, different colors, black, speckles, all white. I got one that I have in the past with stripes on it. It's very unique for a turtle species to have so many different colorations in their head. It's really cool. It's like painted turtles all have, you know, the same markings pretty much. Spotted turtles have the same markings all about. Box turtles pretty much, they differ a little bit more, but you know, the red belly cooties that we get, the Blanding turtles, they all in Massachusetts here all have the pretty much, but terrapins do not, and they are our only truly estrial turtle. So I just thought I'd start out with that, throw that in there. I hope you enjoyed this video a lot. I hope you continue to share it. I hope we can get into homes of people who don't enjoy nature, and hopefully, you know, I teach you some behavior pattern that will help you when you're out in the field. Thanks again. Peace. So here we have, this was like one of the striped head terrapins. Really nice in the morning, Saturday morning. It was so nice because this area where I am, I usually see heads popping up quite a bit, and I've been really lacking that. And here's one with a spotted head. That's what I was talking about. The different heads of the terrapins, they are awesome. They're a pretty big size animal too for a turtle. They're not as large as a snapping turtle, but they're a good turtle, good sized turtle. But always nice to see them in the marsh, that's for sure. Here's the only deer I actually saw of the day, which was really weird, in an area with some goldenrods doing a little peekaboo. I actually came around the corner and did a whole, I guess, 90-degree turn and we looked at each other face to face. If anybody knows for sure what this is, I know that the wobblers are migrating. I believe this is an orange crown wobbler. I could be wrong. We've had the white line above the eye, sort of. I believe that's what it is. Here was a surprise of the day. This is the first to me. This is a hooded owl mort caterpillar. So it's a hooded owl mort caterpillar. The mort itself is, it's just a mort. While I was sitting there hoping for the action to start, I had a couple of fiddler crabs. Little size differential there. The tide was really low tide. What much difference than that super moon tide we had of last week. And always nice to see this is a male osprey. Looks like he's pretty old too with all the wing damage and stuff. With a nice scup, we turned him with a scup that he caught. Unfortunately, I did not see him dive down. He just flew by me with a scup. So no action as far as the ospreys are dwindling rapidly in this area. Okay, this is something I've done in the past. This is multiple exposure in series. I use this. It's actually one bird. I take bink, 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 3 different shots while it's in flight. The camera puts it together. This one is set for 2 shots here. The egret was a little bit, and I've had some, it's more my artistic thing. I've had so many egrets lately. Sometimes I like to play around with the camera, and this is what I really like to do. If I can separate them, and it's a little tough to do because they're in flight and you're moving in the camera, but this is the same bird. All in these 3 shots, bink, 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 put together. I'm not putting it together on the computer. The camera, it's how I'm doing it with the camera. And so this is the view of where I am, the upper view. And you can see the pan to the left-hand corner where you see the white dots. You'll see some white dots to the right. You see the big channels that cut in. And all the way, if you look furthest away, straight across at the center is where we were last week with the egrets. Here's one just doing that pose. Almost like reminds me of the Winter Warlock in Santa Claus Comes to Town. He's got the one foot in front of the other. Oh yeah, that's what it reminds me of. I'll probably get in trouble for singing that. Emma will probably give me a little bit of heck for that. But look at this congregation I had below me. Great blues, yellow legs, great egrets, and the snowies. And it's nice. It's a different view. You get some reflections and stuff. There was actually so many birds I couldn't sing a lot of them. Now this is their both got their noses pointing straight up in the air. Their beaks are straight up in the air. This is that threat that okay. This is when you get that camera ready. This is what I was trying to tell you in volume 14. That is the position these 2 birds have with their noses pointing straight to the sky. That you stay on them because this is what happens. Boom. Here's another threat display. These 2. And it's amazing the activity that can happen when that you always get this bird on the left actually with the nose pointed out was like I told you last week. Every now and then you get a dominant bird, and he was certainly I believe it's the males. I'm not sure. I don't know how to sex the birds other than when it's breeding season. As far as that goes, the males have that chartreuse. Really prominent chartreuse on the eye, and so this is from a total different angle. You get a different angle. This is pretty far out as you saw with the opening photo. So image quality is differentiates in some of these photos. Okay, but it's just to show the action, and this is a nice. Got the gray blue there. Got the snowy little crest up there. But what they were feeding on was so tiny. And I could not believe that there was this many birds in the marsh and, like in this pan, because they're really, there's a lot of fiddler crabs though, and there's another attack. There are a lot, like I was walking the edge of them, there were fiddler crabs from that flooded tide way in, like they're not on the edge and on the channel. That flooded tide, that supermoon tide, pulled them all the way to the wood line throughout, and there was a ton, it's amazing. But mostly they were pulling up really small stuff, more like shrimp, I would say. But too far away for me to actually sell. I love this with the posturing going on. Posturing. This is all what you're trying to capture. You see their noses go up. Get it. Get that shot. Get this shot. This shot here, unfortunately, The left has a, you know, I aim in a very narrow field of vision with the big lens, and that opening is not as big as you would think. That looks down on these birds, and the green is limb of a tree, leaves of the tree, and took some video here. Just oh god, enjoy this video. I'm just gonna let you enjoy this video. There we go, little false threat there. Both of them just giving it a whirl. Beaks are up now, beaks are up now. But that one decides to back down, and then this guy will put his neck down, and that's going to be it. You just never know if they're going to go at it, not go at it. Certainly, it's always great to see. The weird thing is, you're watching the snow egrets, the little ones, right? And I'm not seeing a lot of that foot dancing, diggling action like the one right the great blues doing it in front. But most of them are not really jiggling their foot like crazy, disturbing the mud. They're just, everybody's just like really slow-mo. Well, this is shot in slow-mo, so I guess it would be slow-mo. Now this bird's gonna, the one to the left hand, left middle, he's getting a little upset with someone. As you can see, the beak straight up, and he's gonna push that bird away. It's just weird where they decide, what they decide, when they decide, okay, this bird, I just don't want this bird next to me. And this is in regular. This shows you the difference between slow-mo, 4x slow-mo, and regular action. So it's very busy in regular. Just enjoy this, okay? It's amazing when I was trying to photograph. I mean, this is how it is in real life. I mean, this is real fast. I mean, you see in most of my slow motion video, and you just don't know. You know, you're trying to watch them all. A little better vantage point from here than I had down below in the other area, for sure. But nice to see, like three great blues together that close. You know, that's cohabitating for them. That really is. They get a little cranky with each other when they're just feeding, especially even in the river when me and my brother went. Did see a great number, a pretty good number. I'm going to say, you know, in the 20s, I would think, of great blues around. So now we go back into slow-mo, and you can see the little egrets are so, oh man, they just run around. The yellow legs run around. It's always something to see the difference. But the reason I'm slow-mowing was, well, I think it's less, you know, it's nice to see, like, if a bird flies in, or if they did go on camera and do their little display to capture that, you know, the little aggressive display that I like, certainly. But it's also to see what they're feeding on if I can, and unfortunately, like I said, this ain't big bait, and here comes one landing, and this is why I like on the slow-mo. You just, but you see the average speed before. That's quite a big difference. So when look at these two birds. Look at, he's got his beak opened and all. He is just not happy. Nobody's challenging him though. It's like, oh, I don't want to challenge you. I don't want to challenge you. This one's gonna run out of the way. I'll just get away from this bird, and he's still looking to fight with someone. Still looking to fight. Bully. What a bully. Oh gosh. You can see in the middle of that little island, you see the that type of weed turns red. So we are in fall now. Things are turning. Even took a few pictures today, and some of the leaves, even though it's been so hot, are still fall is here. And who knows if we'll do episode 16, volume 16, or if I'll start doing my season 1, episode 1. Now that I'm pretty much doing okay with the video, you know, and just we've still looking for some good striped bass action. Certainly on bait fish, but I had no big bait fish in the marsh, so you need the big bait fish for them to explode on. They do eat the small bait fish, of course, what we call candy. For them, that's what it is, just a little sweet little candy bait. Rain bait, actually. Rain bait's another word used for it. And once they're on that, they don't blow up on it because the fish and krill and shrimp don't fly out of the water, to say. I mean, the shrimp fly out of the water a little bit. I'll probably capture that in a following video of the bass. There's a corner I go to which hopefully we'll get our minks too. Hopefully get a mink the same day if I get down there. Who knows with the pending hurricane, not this weekend. We don't know what's going on. Don't know what it's going to do to the area. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and it doesn't hit any of the mainland anywhere. And you see that one in the back just got one. Not substantial, but he flips it up. You can't even see it. So it's. The one in the front just got one. It is really tiny stuff. Really tiny stuff. I like the little yellow legs are involved. But they're not, the yellow legs ain't really running with their bills on the ground. So it's not like they usually run through the water like really fast. Like in try to catch stuff with their bills. They're just wading around, jiggling around. Almost like they're all here, but I think they all got fooled. They all thought there was a big happening here, yet there really isn't. You know, and then now, you know, they see so many birds, they're afraid to give up their spot. It's egrets and yellow legs and snowies are funny that way. They will congregate in these areas, and certainly there are much richer areas. I'm sure in one of the troughs there are so many drainage ditches. But they wait for the cormorants to push it in. There's no cormorants reaching this one. If you remember going back to the original photo that I showed, they were well inside the marsh. This is the pan that always pretty much stays with water. Usually it is a great pan for yellow legs, though. Yellow legs seem to hang in this pan quite a bit throughout the years. There's another one doing a little chase. They just get ornery with each other. Ornery little buggers. I messed up when I was doing the fast video. I had my microphone on my camera off, and too bad because we had a lot of sounds going on. I had white-eyed vireos, chickadees, titmice, Carolina wrens, all were squawking at one point. It was really pretty crazy. Had a nice mixed flock around me. But my concentration was on these birds because I'm trying to capture that action, and we're not getting much of the snowies going at it. You know, hopefully next weekend I step in it again. I get in the right place at the right time. Oh, look at that landing, huh? Just angels falling from the sky. See the crest on that? When they get a little upset, they do the cresting. That's good. That's the type of activity I'm looking for right there. The snowies have that little crest rising up on their head when they get a little flustered with each other. And sometimes snowies can be just as aggressive as a great egret. So it's very, very cool when and sometimes they flop up 4 or 5 times straight up in the air. They'll do like that bouncing with their feathers all ruffled, their crest all up. It's really, really cool to see, for sure. I'm very fortunate when I get to see stuff like that. It's just amazing the amount of activity though in a little pan like this, and not a major amount of like going down. They're all and like I said, the egrets ain't wiggling their feet trying to disturb the mud to say like they usually do. That guy, another bird coming in on the left, and he's already making sure that other bird that was coming in on the left push him out of screen. There's a tree to my left, so I couldn't pan and follow that action. Unfortunately, there's that area is totally blocked by a tree from my vantage point, but certainly helps you to think that. Oh, okay, now we move into this is the American oil bug, and this is a cool bug. It's toxic though, so if you would pick this up, it would spray an orange like it's some type of acidic thing, gas and stuff. It's really, really not a bug to play with, but I only see them towards the end of the fall like this, or the beginning of the fall. And it's American oil bug. They finally got a little woodchuck not running around in a hole and stuff like that when I came out. He's sitting on the rock just posing for me, nice and thick, ready to go in down for the winter. You know, the woodchuck, whistle pig, groundhog, whatever you like to call them. They're an eastern marmot. That's what we have here. And then we go into the river with my brother and one of the quite a few many great blues that were around, and they were much larger bait fish, which great blues really prefer over small stuff. There's a lot more what we call peanut bunker and there was also some snapper blues. First time we've seen them in a few years. Very good to see. So nice egret here, nice great blue here, and nice numbers of them as they're starting to fill into the marsh. The osprey that we saw all last week because of the heavy fog. I think we only saw maybe 3, and none of them were fishing. The fog was so heavy. This is the fog, and then we get to the sandbank. This is out in the ocean, and there's a sandbank. It gets low at the mouth of the river, and look at how wet the feathers are on this Ida, this young male Ida duck, huh? Is that something cool or what? And right now in these pictures, this is I always like to sit in my chair. I always like to be as low as I can. Being on a sandbar, I'm actually lying in the wet sand, thinking about composition. Actually, for the first time, and I get so excited because I'm always after the action. Osprey diving, the mink jumping for a fish. But this actually, I got in a position where I mentally put myself in it, and it's really a struggle for me to put myself. And this is this picture here. I'm in love with this picture. I just love the semi-pilated plovers. I am so thrilled about this picture. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't like it. He can certainly, here he's catching one of the little clear worms that are in the dirt when they probe their beak. I've seen him pull out giant ones in the past, but it's so soft, the image with the line on the sand. You get the sand in the front. This one coming at me, you see some of the ripples in the sand, but then I'm so low that the front is like smooth and the back smooth, and it's just where the bird is. And the only problem I had probably was trying to get up after. But certainly, I really enjoy these photos. Well, thanks again. I hope you really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed my time out there, that's for sure. I really do. I love my time out there, and it's always great to get the egrets. And, I'll get them pretty solid till October-ish. Sometime in October, I'll be heading down a little further south towards South County, Rhode Island, probably later on towards October. But for now, I'm staying up this way. It's just very exciting, isn't it? And those photos I took of the semi-pilated plover on the sandbar, there's something about little shorebirds that I just totally love. They're so active. They're so active. They go in and out. And then to get one with a little, what do they call them, worms? I don't know. I don't know it all. I don't know it all. I try to know it all, but I don't know it all. Anyhow, thanks you for tuning into this episode. Hopefully that big hurricane pushes some crazy stuff our way, but doesn't hit us. Let's hope it pushes some great sightings our way, and hopefully everybody enjoys their time, and hopefully it's another beautiful weekend. Thanks all. Peace.